Tell me about it.
Yes, indeed. We're here to support the rights of every American citizen to serve their country, for one thing. So, of course, we have opposed to the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. More importantly, we're here to show our solidarity with all the victims of discrimination. Yes, it's a Gay Pride Parade, but as you can see, many signs, many causes. The cause of social justice is far from nearing completion in this country, and we just hope to be another part of the wheel in that journey towards social justice for everybody. Hugh Bruce, Veterans for Peace, Chapter 34, New York. Yes, the first Pride Parade was 250 people walking up the sidewalks of 7th Avenue to Central Park.
What year was that?
That was 1970. And to think that here a parade like this has approximately 275,000 marchers, to say nothing of the number of onlookers. It's really a blessing, and it's a tribute to the greatness of this city, that we can celebrate our diversity and people can get out in a spirit of charity and brotherhood to do something like this. It's really amazing. It's a wonderful thing.
Right on. So what do you hope comes from this, from your participation in the parade?
Well, in many ways we're preaching to the choir, because a lot of the people are, as you'll see as we go downtown, people are generally in agreement with our position, especially opposing this war. I'd say just keep your eyes and your camera running, and you'll see what I mean especially as we get further downtown.
Hi, can you tell me who you are?
Tom Syracuse. I'm a Navy veteran. I belong to the Veterans for Peace.
And can you tell me, we were discussing the MIA flag and the idea of like how you see that. Can you just talk about that a second?
Well, we feel that even though that's an important issue of veterans missing in action or being held illegally by the countries, we feel that to focus mainly on that issue is a big distraction, because it doesn't address the whole issue of war, the use of war to solve international conflicts, or to promote, for instance, what's going on in the Middle East, or what went on in Vietnam. You're going to have, whenever you have wars, you're going to have soldiers missing in action, being held illegally, not only by one side, but on all sides. And this country, in particular, is certainly just as guilty, if not more guilty, than other countries on this issue. How many people are missing in action called, what do they call that, combatants?
Enemy combatants.
Enemy combatants. These guys were picked up in sweeps in Afghanistan. No charges. They're being held incognito in Guantanamo and other areas, in other prisons throughout the world, against international law, and there hasn't even been any evidence that have come to the surface whether these guys were even guilty of anything. So just to concentrate on the missing in action issue vis-a-vis, say, the Vietnam War, we feel is a big distraction.
Veterans for Peace, Chapter 34. Waging peace, ending war, fighting discrimination, ending the unpatriotic don't ask, don't tell policy in the military.
All right, look at that.
Thank you. How do you feel about the war?
Get out now! Bring them home.
Why?
Because they should be home, not fighting for other people's interests. I want the troops to come home.
How do you feel about the war?
Bring them home!
Why?
We're over there for no damn good reason.
How do you feel about the
Hey,
war?
go bring the troops home.
What? Not going to war.
Why?
It's killing our brothers and sisters.
Bring them home now. Bring them all home.
Bush wanted to attack. He sent the army to Iraq. Guns to shoot and bombs to drop. All this madness has to stop.
The war has to stop, and I mean the war that's been going on for the last 100 years, waged by the military-industrial complex of the United States against the rest of the world.
Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
There are many people die without any reason, so they have to stop that war.
And what do you think the answer is?
No more war.
Not good. Peace is the final reason of the human race.
How do you feel about the war?
Hate it. It should stop.
Why?
Just asking you, baby.
I'm asking you, will you?
Why? Because it's pointless. It's a pointless war. Started for oil, started for monetary reasons, has nothing to do with helping the Iraqi people at all.
What would happen to the Iraqi people?
What would happen to the Iraqi?
What would help the Iraqi people?
Well, first thing is for the U.S. to get out of there. That's it.
How do you feel about the war?
I'm against it. No war.
Why?
We're there for the wrong reasons. Absolutely the wrong reasons.
Should have never started. Should have never gone.
Why?
It was a lie. It was a huge lie. And the American public's just now realizing that. Nobody read the papers. Nobody paid attention. It needs to end now.
I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
Well, it's disgusting. I think we should be pulled out as soon as possible.
How do you feel about the war?
Same here.
How you doing? I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
Not happy at all.
Why?
It's stupid. People are dying unnecessarily.
What's the answer?
Stop it.
We hate the war. We hate the war. U.S. side of Iraq. Bring everybody home. Right away.
I really think it should be over. We shouldn't have started it at all.
Stop it now.
Why?
It's wrong. Just baseline is wrong.
Today. End the slaughter. Bring our troops back to our shore. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Send them home.
Why?
Because the war is not worth it.
Not in our name. Not in our name.
You know what? If I got into it, I wouldn't stop talking about it.
Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
Marty?
I went Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
That's all I can say.
Send them home now. It's a stupid war.
What should we do?
Pull out now.
Get him out.
Why?
Get it out.
Why?
Because there's no point to it right now.
It's there for oil, nothing else.
Right here, right here.
We should not have been there to start with.
Too many people are dying for no reason. Just to make other people die later in this country because the terrorists, we're creating the terrorists, I should say.
And what should we do?
It's really hard to say because once we're there, we can't just leave after we've created a mess. So it's a very difficult situation with no easy answers.
Thank you.
Nothing can be gained by killing other people for saying that killing people is wrong.
Come on now. How do you feel about the war?
I'm against it totally.
Why?
Because I think what we're going for is the wrong reason. It's not human rights, it's human slaughter.
I don't like it at all.
Why?
There shouldn't be a point to it. There is no point to it. We shouldn't be invading.
I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
I'm sad. I have so many friends who are supposed to be home with their parents.
And where are they now?
They're in Iraq.
What do you want to do?
I want them to come home.
How do I feel about the war? I think it's wrong.
Why?
Because the young kids shouldn't be killed there. That's how I feel.
Right on.
I don't think it's right.
What should we do?
We should end it and bring back the different people that are there and think of another solution. Too many men are dying. Too many generations.
Thank you.
Good to see you today, Daryl.
How do you feel about the war?
I'm opposed to war. I'm opposed to war in all circumstances, but it's a complete outrage when we bring a war to a place that is entirely apart from the folks who brought injustice to this country. What happened here at Ground Zero was a crime against humanity, and we found no connection to the people of Iraq, certainly, and not even to the terrorist Saddam Hussein regime, which the American government supported throughout its worst era.
Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
Stupid.
Why?
It don't make no sense to even have it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Happy Gay Pride. Peace out.
I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
This war is stupid.
Why?
Because there's no justice in this war. There's nothing.
Thank you. Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
To our shore.
Hi, I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
Oh, I don't want it to be around anymore. I want Bush to get out of it.
So what should we do?
Get out of the war.
And then what?
You're putting me on the spot.
Well, the reason I said, and then what? It's like, what's going to stop any other administration from doing the same thing?
We need a new government.
Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
It sucks! It's all about the war! Fuck war! Fuck war!
Yes. I'm with Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
I'll answer it.
Veterans for Peace, how do you feel about the war?
It's terrible.
They need to come home.
Why?
Because it's pointless right now.
I don't agree with it.
Why?
Because I don't think we should be over there. I think we have enough problems here.
Thank you. Hi, I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
I feel like we've lost too many guys. It's time to bring them home.
Absolutely. And then what?
And then what? Give everybody equal rights and let them live happy.
Right, the reason why I said and then what? Because everybody keeps talking about like Barack Obama and Hillary, but Hillary said that she would pretty much go into Iran, so then we're going to get out of the frying pan, because remember, Iran has a real military and not one that's been bombed out for the past 17 years.
I've been afraid we were going to Iran for months anyway.
With the black backpack?
Yes, he's been harassing us.
They just wanted to know what your animosity was, to be quite honest.
I don't want to discuss it with them.
But that's what
my animosity is, that they don't think they can do their thing without latching on to us.
But they're a huge nationwide organization.
Then do their thing.
But they are doing their thing.
Okay, sir, let's let this come down.
Right.
Okay, let this come down.
You know, there's a lot of people here with a lot of different viewpoints.
Right,
so
exactly.
We just need to respect each other.
Right.
Okay. If you guys do me a huge favor and give him all the distance he needs. Really? Okay, then I'm gonna stick with us and clarify that to anyone who tries to get us too close together, because obviously he's, I'd prefer if you didn't take me. I'm sorry, I'm just a volunteer.
She
right.
I'm sorry. I'm not fully honored.
I know.
Is this enough space? I mean, for him once in a while.
I know.
Yeah. It just looks like we can't keep up with it. It's decent. It's okay, we won't want me feel.
Yeah. Well, do you okay to stay here and let's stay here?
So guys.
How you doing, sister? I'm with Veterans for Peace. How do you feel about the war?
I feel war is a personal thing that Bush got us in as a vendetta to take advantage, because Saddam Hussein made an attempt on his father's life, and it has nothing to do with oil or 9/11 or anything like that. And our boys and girls